So far, the Leopard A1A1 has been completely dominating the tests. I mean, this vehicle is just amazing, and no wonder that the A1A1 is one of players' favorite new tanks in the game at the moment. But that does bring the question, well, do we have a medium tank that's close to the Leopard, and do we have a medium tank that can actually kind of outperform the vehicle? Well, we do have two vehicles, the ZTZ89A and the ZTZ59D1, and today I'll be driving the ZTZ59D1 versus the Leopard A1A1. Now this vehicle is a bit slower than the Leopards. I mean, it goes 50 counter per hour in gear and reverse 8 counter per hour. Specific power is 14 horsepower per ton, 37 tons for crew member, 400mm penetration, which is pretty good, and it has a slow turret. The armor is decent on this vehicle. It has the explosive reactive armor, although that is usually effective against heat, high explosive, and ATGMs as well as HE-ATFS. The Dart APDS will have no issues with the reactive armor, but this vehicle does look really good. Almost looks like a modern vehicle. Does kind of remind me on the T90, which of course is still not in game, but we'll be at it at one point down the road. But yeah, the 59D1 does use a 105mm cannon, and on paper it does seem like the 59D1 does kind of outperform the Leopard when it comes to firepower, but the Leopard is still unmatched when it comes to speed and maneuverability. Now, we do have no armor on the Leopards, which, you know, is not much of a deal breaker in high tier. I mean, you will see the 59D1 can easily be penetrated by the Leopards, and having extra armor is not much of a deal to, you know, not much of a problem. And the Leopard does seem to fire maybe a little bit faster, although we will see that in combat. It does feel like the Leopard is firing a bit faster, but you know, that might be just well, how I experience the vehicle. But well, let's see what games I'll get today actually, and I think I'll start with the Leopard first. Now they both share the same caliber main gun, and one of the, I guess one advantage of the 59D1 is that reactive armor. If you are driving the Leopard and if you are shooting the 59 with the HE-ATFS shells, since this vehicle does have HE-ATFS shells, if you hit the reactive block, you will most likely do no damage to the ZTZ. Of course, the vehicle does have parts where there is basically no effective reactive armor attached on the lower plate and in one of the corners on the frontal plate. And one little fun fact about that ZTZ, if you shoot right next to the main gun, a bit to the left or a bit to the right, you also have no reactive armor there, and you can actually kill the vehicle if you hit in these weak spots. So while it has the reactive armor, it's not, you know, invincible. You just use APFSDS shells and that reactive armor is not going to be a problem whatsoever. Now when it comes to performance, we are looking at maneuverability, since it is a medium tank and maneuverability is very important. Having good armor and a good cannon is good, but if your tank is slow, that might be kind of a deal breaker, I guess, or it might be, you know, preventing you from using the vehicle to the fullest. Now, the Leopards is made to be a sniper, can also run around, capture base, capture zones, and it can easily flank enemy tanks. It is also quite stealthy, can also take advantage of cover, and which we've already seen, it's fast. It goes very fast forward and goes very fast in reverse. So in the maneuverability aspect, the Leopard definitely outmatches, I mean outclasses the ZTZ by a lot. Even the turret rotation speed is really good on this vehicle, while the turret rotation speed on the ZTZ is, well, it does behave like the T54, and the turret on the T54 is also quite slow. I mean, the turret on all the T55 to T62 tanks is kind of slow, and that kind of is obviously visible on the ZTZ59D1. Of course, as when I jump in the other vehicle, you will see that that vehicle has some very interesting ammo choices, and the extra penetration that that vehicle has is noticeable. And it does seem like the cannon of the ZTZ does a bit more damage, but more on the ZTZ when I'm actually driving the vehicle. Right now we are enjoying the Leopard. Now, even though I have the ZTZ and I have all these vehicles basically maxed out, I still play Leopard the most, because the speed of this thing is just something that I really love, and the way how the whole vehicle behaves and works is, I guess, more appealing to my playstyle. But this vehicle is definitely a champion when it comes to tier 8 or rank 8. Does have no armor, but no armor, no problem. In most cases, if someone is shooting at you with a high velocity, high penetrating APFSDS shell, that can just over penetrate and go through your vehicle. And it did happen. That did happen multiple times. And I think I might show that in one of the next videos. Actually, depends on if I recorded that. But the Leopard has been doing pretty well, and this vehicle has been in the game for quite a while. It is impressive how it is still able to maintain such a high tier spot in the tank list. And I actually kind of thought that the new Japanese tanks would outperform the Leopard, but nope, they didn't. And the new Japanese tanks are kind of underwhelming in a lot of ways. I will compare them with the Leopards down the road as well, because it's definitely worth to explain why that's the case with the new tanks. They're not bad, but they definitely don't feel as as good as the Leopard did feel when it was originally released. Okay, well, I didn't see that guy there camping that corner, so now I have to wait for the crew member to be replaced, and then we can continue. I did have some very good kills though. 7 kills in this match. This vehicle is just amazing when it comes to the performance with the main cannon, and of course when it comes to how the whole vehicle feels. Ah, there we go. It was a T70. It was a T62 actually. Okay, sneaky medium tank. That was kill number 8. Well, really good game so far. Really good game so far. Not my best game with the Leopard. My best game with this vehicle was 25 kills, I believe. 25 or 27 kills, something like that. I was going full berserk mode on the enemy team. I had no chill back then. I actually thought to go take the aircraft, fight the bomber, but I thought that's not gonna be a good idea. Usually when I take the aircraft, I get a Messerschmitt and I fail because the Messerschmitt sucks. But okay, bombs are dropping and they are not going after me. Okay, that's good. Those bombs were not meant for me. We are holding the base and we have a clear advantage in score over the enemy. So yeah, I mean, I already explained the Leopard many times before, and this vehicle is just amazing when it comes to if you know what you're doing, if you know how to drive the vehicle, the Leopard will definitely reward you a lot. It does play very similar to the Term 3. That vehicle is also quite difficult to handle, and he does have a very good performing main gun too, so the Term 3 is also fantastic. Now both of the ZTZ and Leopard are stabilized, both of their main guns are stabilized. Basically, you don't have to worry about wobbly aim while moving. The only clear difference would be maneuverability and speed. The ZTZ does go fast, it's not a slow vehicle, but it doesn't really maneuver the same way the Leopard does. That's big. I will say that's a big big difference in the two vehicles. Okay, that was the Leopard, and that was a fantastic game. So let's go and let's take the ZTZ59D1 for a spin. I believe this vehicle is going to be quite interesting to look at because it is just a very interesting tank. I find the ZTZ59D1 very interesting because it does feel like a modern vehicle, like current era vehicle. Does feel like the T90 in some cases. And if you look at the vehicle, it is a very good looking tank. It definitely looks good. Doesn't look like, you know, an outdated vehicle. It looks very decent, pleasant to the eye, as you would say. But yeah, once you start driving it, it does feel like you're driving a T-54 again. It does have a PFSDS and HEATFS, so when it comes to ammo, it has the same ammunition as the Leopard, although I believe that these shells penetrate more. And I also noticed when this APFSDS hits something, it just knocks it out of the park. So the main gun on this thing and on the ZTZ88 is also basically the same gun, but the gun is fantastic. The ammo is awesome, and when you nail a hit into a tank, I don't know what it is, but it does have that punch to it. It does have that kick. It just wrecks. The Leopard is doing really good. I mean, it has a fantastic ammo and fantastic gun, but the Leopard's main gun doesn't really feel as impactful as this main gun with this ammo. Now, both basically same shell type, same ammo. After all, same mechanics. But for some reason, this main gun feels like it has a bit more of a kick to it. I also noticed that particularly versus the STRV103C. When you hit that with the Leopard, usually it might take 2 hits on average to kill it. With this vehicle, it guarantees the STRV103C is dead in 1 hit. Which, you know, it was kind of confusing at first. Not quite sure why was that the case, but that's what I noticed. For some reason, this vehicle just does kill that tank in 1 hit. And the main gun does do the same thing against a wide variety of vehicles. So definitely a very good main gun, also stabilized so you can move around and shoot. Of course, you are not going to be able to use this vehicle the same way you would use a Term 3 or a Leopard, because the main gun is not as maneuverable as you can see. The turret, I mean, the turret is not as fast as the turret on the Leopard. This turret is slow, which means that a Leopard can outmaneuver you. And this vehicle is kind of meant to be used as a sniper, maybe even a defensive vehicle, basically to hold the line, very similar to how the STRV103C is being made. Although the 103C is a autoloader, I believe this vehicle is not a autoloader. If it were a autoloader, it would definitely fire faster. It's a 105mm gun. I mean, it does wreck, obviously. That was a nasty hit. This thing just goes in. This is one of the vehicles that is surprisingly fun to drive, even though if you prefer something more action-packed like Leopard because of the speed. But this vehicle is also really good. If you prefer to drive the more slower vehicles in the platoon or the tanky vehicles, then this thing is definitely a tank that you will be familiar with. I mean, it's very interesting because the more modern vehicles almost look the same to this vehicle, but they only move faster, have better armor, better main gun, better ammo and stuff like that. So this vehicle is going to be kind of a introduction or slow introduction to the more modern vehicles that are definitely going to be added in the game at one point pretty soon, hopefully. Now I'm trying to capture the base here, and then after I capture the base I'll also try to keep on moving around and try to kill as many tanks as possible. After all with this vehicle I just really enjoy to shoot stuff. It is a very interesting tank. Well, that was a very interesting ricochet. Didn't penetrate, really. Didn't penetrate a T-54 from the front. That's kinda interesting. A PFSDS shell with over 500 millimeters of penetration, but bounced a T-54. So it is no secret that this gun seems to be penetrating a bit more and does seem to be doing a bit more damage than the Leopard A1A1. Although I believe most players are not really going to notice that difference. I mean, if you know where to shoot, then doesn't matter if you penetrate like 450 or 500. If the shell goes in, the shell does damage. Basically, that's how it is. But these vehicles are also it is fun because so far up until this moment, no other main gun was kind of performing the same way the Leopard A1A1's main gun did perform. I always preferred the Leopard's gun over anything else, and I still kind of do prefer the gun, although they seem to have about the same reload. It still does feel like the Leopard has a fast reload for some reason, but they do reload about the same time, and I still do prefer the Leopard's main gun. Maybe there's no difference. Again, I would say there's very little difference in practical use, but it is very interesting because no other main gun that we have seen so far on the main battle tanks has been up to the task to challenge the Leopard's main gun. Maybe actually I take that back. The STRV-103C's main gun does work better than the Leopard, and I think the STRV-103C might still have the best main gun out of the current tier 8 main battle tanks because of the autoloader. It just loads much faster than any other tank that we have, and the autoloader is just pure evil. It spits 2.5 bullets, 2.5 shells by the time you reload one on this vehicle or the Leopard. So the STRV still has the better main gun and still has like the best autoloader currently, but this vehicle has definitely the best shell when it comes to how much damage it does. Although the STRV-103C's main gun, that thing is just a joy to use. It is once you park the vehicle, once you actually get to know the vehicle, it is just a joy to drive around. Although I haven't been using it that often because it does eat consumables a lot. I mean, that thing is just going to eat your silver like there's no tomorrow. I think even the premium one does eat a lot of silver. So yeah, the STRV-103C is definitely a pricey vehicle to use, mostly because it just eats consumables. You will be set on fire. But it is difficult to kill that vehicle. If you position it correctly, it is very difficult to get rid of the STRV-103C. And I have, well, that's kill number 10, I guess. Not bad. 10 kills, I'll take it. And let me capture the base again. I mean, this vehicle is also quite relaxing to drive. Easier to drive than the Leopard because it's not as fast, it has better armor, but better main gun as well. So yeah, and it also has some good machine guns, so lightly armored vehicles will be quite easy to deal with because it just penetrates. Look at that angle, and I still wrecked the T-54. I mean, this thing does have a very interesting kick to the main gun that I really do like. And you'll see it is the more tanky version of the more armored version of the ZTZ88. The 88 is very similar to the Leopards, and that vehicle is pretty awesome, and that's going to be I think that's the next video that I'll be making. I don't know, we will see. But it is a very, very fun vehicle to roll around with. And that was a very good game. 10 kills, I'll take it. Very nice game. So that was the Leopard A1A1 versus the ZTZ59D1. Both fantastic vehicles, and please do tell me in the comments down below which one of these two vehicles do you like to drive and which one of these two vehicles do you prefer to use. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.